I thought of the music industry, and what comes to my mind every time I think of it, usually it's the artists. We look at the artists, the voices, the lyrics, and my question was, but before those are, there are people behind the cameras, the people that bring the vision of what the artist maybe wanted. The people that bring that vision to life, those that think of the rhythm, which are who are usually the producers, and maybe also the discipline that goes around between them and within the studio. So with me is one Gabriel Kyambadde, who is a director. He has directed very good music videos with the Shibas, with big stars like the Fefe Busis, the Crystal Pandas, and now also the rising stars like the Zafaranis, the Ruth Nyendo, and so many others. Today we shall understand how one can grow into a successful director. Gabi, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Madam Kansime.
Mm. Thank you so much for coming, for
I like
honoring
that
our
introduction. My
invitation.
God. When someone listens to it, they're like, this person, whoever he is, but
I
I
don't
love
think
it.
I've even done you justice, by the way, because you've done some good work.
Wow.
I've been watching the videos that he has been making, and they are extremely magnificent.
Thank you.
And that will bring me to my first question to understand who Kyambadde is. Tell me, who is Kyambadde?
Kyambadde. Kyambadde, Gabi, it's funny you ask that question. Reason being, those are the same initials I use on my projects.
Mm.
And people normally ask, why are you using a local name, Because people use aliases, you get a very catchy name. Um, if you look at my videos, so far at least the ones I've made, most of them have this aspect of African culture,
Mm.
promotion of African lifestyle. I got inspired. The place where I was, people were so in touch with their culture, with their identity. And as Africans, we have this thing whereby whatever someone else does is cool. And when you live life like that, sometimes when you forget your foundations, then you don't have a basis when you're with others. You get it? It makes you more interesting. People want to listen to you more if they get to know this side of you, where you come from, where you root from, so they get to know who you are. Who's Gabriel Kyambadde? A creative perfectionist, I would say. And sometimes it takes time, but I believe that every project you touch, when someone else looks at it, they see a part of you. You get it? They see, oh, this is Gabriel that has touched that. It doesn't matter how small it is, it doesn't matter how big it is. Let people see and identify your touch in that project. So I'm a down to earth guy. Of course, as I say, less words. But normally when I know you, you may not know that I have less words.
Becomes easy for you to express yourself.
I like creativity. I like conceptualizing things. And sometimes by that I live in my head a lot when it comes to conceptualization. I like things that challenge me, whereby when I sit on a project and you tell me, you know what, this is what I want, I ask myself, how am I going to even achieve this? I like that because then I think, and the payoff at the end of the day, when I've achieved it, that satisfaction is always great.
Because you're bringing someone's vision to reality, they're able to see it. That's actually very good. And the fact that you said you're a perfectionist, everyone can tell from the different videos that you have created. You can tell that this person has a good eye for good things. And now, when you talk about culture and embracing your own culture, wanting that every work you make, the signature that you have should be your culture, expressing your culture. How are you able to compete with the world? Because if you notice, most people prefer going away from the culture of Africa to the Western world. And it's, as you say, it's what they look at as something that is cool. How are you able to compete with those ones that may seem to be more relatable than this? Because I believe not so many directors have been going on that path.
Everybody else has an identity, right? Hollywood has classical filmmaking, cinema, which we've grown up watching. Sound of Music, they have their own editing style. They have their own ways of how they introduce characters, their storytelling style. The India, they have this, we call it melodramatic way of doing things, overacting. Something simple is exaggerated, but now that is their touch.
That's their touch.
And that's what we know them to. And they have been consistent, and it has paid off because that's what we expect. That's what we think of when we uh, think of them. When you look at Nigeria, Nigeria started off with a lot of that Afrocentric, cultural, traditional sort of, okay, love sometimes. It's mostly love, or it's mostly that Afro traditional sort of style of filmmaking. It has created a signature, right? We know that that's what they do. For me, I believe if you want to stand out, you have to take a bold step. By taking a bold step, you're going to be uncomfortable standing out of the normal expectation, the crowd. Because if the crowd is going there, then I think you're going to get lost if you go that side. But if you stand out and you say, you know what, let me try out, it takes a longer time to pay off, but what you have created is uniqueness. Because people see something they have not seen, and that's what we're looking for. Ideas are so many. Believe me, right now, if you think of something and don't act upon it, you'll be surprised within like a year or even before used to see it out there. I've seen that situation a lot. There are times I've thought of ideas. Let's say it is an idea for a music video, and I'm like, ah, man, that's expensive. This is what, and I fear to do it. And then I see it, like, how did this person get to know this? So for me, what comes first? As I told you, basing on the fact that I was at a certain place and I got inspired by how people are in touch and in tune. So, yes, other people are doing things differently. I could say, let me do, let's say, a performance style video the way the Coldplays do it, or let me do an abstract video the way someone does it, Joseph Card, or maybe let me do a narrative video the normal way, how Hollywood does it. But I could also say, let me do that in my style so that I bring something new. The thing is, it shouldn't stop at culture. Uniqueness should come in your own style. It may be culture, it may be the way Picasso made Picasso, and people are like, this guy is crazy. You creating things out of cubes, lines, geometry. That is not what we know. Michelangelo used to draw people, and the way they presented is how human form is. So the angels and the paintings in the church in Rome look like human. Picasso came and he was like, no, art is wide. Art is expressionism. What art gives you is a voice to bring out what is in your own style and show it to the world. There's no new idea. Every idea has been used. We can only get inspiration. Some people say hoping and stealing or something.
No, it's
Plagiarism.
inspiration.
But to me, you get inspiration and make it better. That is how art has always been. So for me, basically, that's what I can say on that.
I actually agree with you 100% because indeed there is nothing new on the face of the earth. Everything comes from inspiration, and that's really good. You talked of boldness, walking into something boldly and waiting for your time. It may take time, but it will eventually pay off. But now I want you to talk to that one boy or girl who would like to enter into this industry because directing either for music or for film or for any of those are not really the traditional jobs that Ugandans are very used to. We've seen those with Nigerians, yes. With Europeans, great. But in Uganda, you'll find that most of the traditional jobs are office jobs or what are they? Doctors, lawyers, office jobs, really. And but taking that path, how do you advise that person to explain to the parents about their passion, or how do you express that passion so that they're able to understand that it's okay to take on that role, and then does it pay off?
If you're skilled at what you do, if you're passionate about what you do, and you stay by it, and you chase it, there's always a breakthrough. Believe me, there's always a breakthrough. So even these parents, due to the fact that they have seen movies. There's a culture of of cinema and film in Uganda that has been there for some centuries. People have been going to the Vibanda back then,
Yeah.
today on internet, on your TVs at home. So they have got to realize that, oh, when I switch on my TV, there's a TV drama. So without the TV having the TV drama, how will it keep up its television rating points? Like, for example, what will bring in people to want to watch? What will bring in people to want to watch is the programming, right?
Sure.
So you cannot say that TV is only for traditional news. Because even today, when you're watching news, you get to sift through it, and then you lose interest, right? There is so the way TVs, the way internet keeps people hooked is through content, right? And this content, let's say for TV, this content is bold. This content is people, TVs, television house, agencies bring on directors, they bring on, or you yourself can write scripts, go and pitch it. If it's selling, you could create content. So there's a lot of room in this industry. But what story are you telling? How unique are you? The issue most people have is the love for reading is still low. If you read and research, there's always something new you can add to yourself that can make you unique in the way you express your
That
storytelling.
can set you apart from the
That
other.
can set you apart. But from your television, sports, documentaries, TV dramas, reality TV, feature films, short films, if you go to Palm Magic, you're going to appreciate that people right now have understood the importance of film, the importance of this kind of content. And many directors have come up and they're selling content, you know, and even Palm Magic itself is open, you know. So many of my friends are also creating content, series, and they're getting money out of it, right? There are film festivals and competition. In festivals and competition, there are potential people who want people who can make adverts, who want people who want to see what short films have been made and what is their potential and how can we finance this into features. You see, film is collaborative. Film for sure is about getting yourself out there into networks, right? If you may not be so good, but you're good at networking. And if you keep on going to this like national theater, if you keep on going to different festivals, you meet different people, right? You get different contacts. And maybe someone is going to fall in love with that piece of film you did back in your home with your phone, right? Because technology is so advanced that what where you needed to go and rent out a camera and shoot something, you have a phone.
Can now use
And
your
you have
phone.
an iPhone that can shoot in cinema mode, right? So if you can use the same principles, right? Lighting which does not only stop indoor but also outdoor. How you harness the sun to kind of give you moods, but also learn character, how people behave, sit down and observe, observational skills. Because when you sit down and observe, when you read, you get to understand human psychology. So when you deal with people on one, when you're trying to direct them, directing is a very huge sort of field that even me myself, I can't say
You're
there
able to
yet.
study it all.
I'm there yet. I'm a student when it comes to that, and I'm still in continuous learning. But it's all about understanding people. Then you understand their nature, then you understand their characters, and then it informs how you talk to them to give you what you want them to put
To
out.
put out. Actually, when you speak about that, you've given me so many questions. I don't even know where to start from. I was going to ask you about your journey, but before you go into your journey to now where you are, maybe you can now, speaking of understanding and reading people's characters and networking and all that, I want to know, or maybe you can even fix all of them together to tell me maybe now you as a young person before you became the Gabriel Kyambadde of now. I'm actually glad you kept your name because that's your signature after all, and it's your name, which is really good and rare. But I want to understand before you became a director, what were you? What did you do in school? What can I? Because now I'm trying to to see what you talked about as a young person. If I allow myself to network around, express my passion, use what I have. I don't need to buy cameras to know that I can do what I have. There are so many film festivals that I can join. Our parents are open to different ideas because times have changed and they've also changed with the times. So, you, Kyambadde, what did you study in school and how did it drive you to where you are now?
What I can say is, in my levels, well, my background, my strong background is in art. I won't lie to you. I've always been an artist from P1. My teachers used to recognize me as that guy who can draw, as that guy who can draw. And I'm telling you, if there was someone whose parents um, used to get headache of painting walls and all that stuff, it is me. Because if in my room, you could really tell that this guy has a passion. But yeah, I loved art, its form, and that carried through even in my A levels. I took it. I'm an arts student. I come from an arts background, and that informed later when I went to university, because my university journey is also quite a bit heavy. Because in 2009 I left to go to India, Pune. Yeah, Pune is the educational city or educational hub of India. You find many international students in universities there. So I went to two institutes. One is SIM Edu, that is the School of Pro Expressionism. I did a diploma in film production in over there, and over there I learned the principles that drive this art form. But as I said, learning when it comes to this art form is not it's not singular.
It's
Something
continual.
that is continuous because technology comes out. And if you lock yourself into a mind frame that I learned, man, you'll be surprised. But also after that, I joined Framebox School of Animation and Visual Effects. So you see that art aspect has been carried through. Because in Framebox, I did a diploma, 2 years in animation, where I got to learn 3D. I got to learn visual effects. And then after my studies there, I got to work in a company called NWAC Media for a year. And over there, we're doing documentaries. Over there, we're doing animated explainer videos. Yeah. Over there, we're doing, events, weddings, and all that stuff. So that is where I met my first mentor, Rajdeep. He was a very charismatic young man. He was a sound engineer and a very good filmmaker. I mean, up to now, I have deep respect for Rajdeep. He taught me, on addition to school, some of the things that stayed dear to me. From there, my education journey continued to Nkumba University, where I did a bachelor's in graphics communication design. Now I didn't rest, I won't lie to you, when I came back, it got a bit hard. When you're coming from abroad and you think things are going to be easy, it's going to be a walkover.
As you think, I've come, I have the knowledge, they should just give me a place and I work.
Exactly. So for me, when I came, it was a different story. My field is more of something where you have to start up something and define yourself through the world and create your place. You get jobs. Look, it's not something where you can look for jobs, but you find most of the times it will limit you. It will limit you in the sense that you work for someone to what they want. So unless you step outside there and you create something, yes, I'm Gabriel Kyambadde, I create music videos, and then you go in that direction and then you create your mark. So for the start, for the first year and or something like that, it was a bit low. You went through this whole process of what would you say? I mean, it was an eye-opening moment. Like, oh, things don't translate that fast, right? So I joined Pumba University, and at Nkumba, I was doing that graphics communication design. I in my second year, I met three other gentlemen, and those three other gentlemen were as passionate.
As you were.
Yes, they knew something.
They loved it.
They loved it. So together we went to Najana Nkumbi, and started our company called Rego Media. We had an office there. I was in second year, and we became the best visual effects production company in Uganda. Our work was in many major production companies. I think it was something new, and people were like, wow, these people did sci-fi. How did they do it? It was Rego Media. Off wear to weddings, even in Kumba, when there was an event, guess who was doing that?
Rego Media.
Okay. You see, we created trust. We created a brand name that when you need someone to do visual effects for you, Rego Media is the people. And then came RNA Pictures. I was working with RNA Pictures. Okay. And with RNA Pictures, they used to say, you know what, Gabby, if you're not so busy, come. I have an artist. You could direct this video. He totally gets away from it. So the artists come. I have to brief them. I have to talk to them. I have to sell them a treatment. So when you're making a video, it all starts from the concept.
Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.